Hi, my name is Deborah Hansen. I'm the chef owner sommelier of Taberna de Haro and Straight Law Bar. This is Taberna de Haro, corner of Beacon Street and St. Mary's, 999 Beacon, right at the St. Mary's Tea Stop. And this is our beautiful patio that we try and make as peaceful and Spain-like as possible. Flowers and a breeze and sunshine. And my mission is authenticity. I love Spain, so my goal has always been to bring my favorite dishes from Spain to Boston as authentically as I possibly can. So I import all the ingredients that I possibly can. Olive oil, anchovies, cheeses, olives, pickled peppers, the meats, you name it. What makes our calamares fritos, as you say in Spanish, different is that we use fresh squid and never frozen, fresh squid. And it's fried for a very brief moment and then brought to your table immediately. So it's this crunchy, fresh, delicious squid. And we serve it with a black alioli, and it's tinted black and flavored also with squid ink. There's a craze that's been going on in Spain for more than a decade now, the gin and tonic craze. After dinner, everyone goes out for gin and tonics. And their innovation on a traditional theme was to serve gin and tonics in a goblet so that you could enjoy the aromas of gin, which is a lovely idea. So I also have imported that to the United States, and that is our goal, to serve those really fun, heavily garnished, interesting gin and tonics like they do in Spain. So the Crooked Oaks worked really well. It was a really interesting gin. It had power. It also has some smoothness because of its time in barrel. And it took really well to being garnished with citrus and with herbs. It paired beautifully with the manzanilla, which is a really important thing here at Straight Law Bar.
My name is Melissa, and this is my husband, James, and we are the owners of Crooked Oaks Barrel Reserve. James actually makes the gin and vodka that we craft there, and we do it all by hand, and I basically am his right-hand girl. I do everything else.
We make gin and vodka, and we do it creatively. We barrel it in oak barrels, but not traditional oak barrels. We try to reclaim barrels from other spirits like tequila barrels or wine barrels and give it a new spin and try to overcome all of the barriers or the things that taste bad that people don't like with gin or the harshness of vodka. We work real hard and make a unique product from it.
It really started as a hobby more of anything else. I think James kind of was playing around with the idea of maybe creating his own spirits, and it sort of spiraled from there. It became, I'm going to buy a still, and he got a small still, and then it became, I'm going to start actually making something, and then he came home and said, I bought a space, and it just kind of kept going from there. And once the space came is when it really started to become something where he actually, formulated recipes and got them all okayed and got labels made up, and it really then at that point became something more real. I think our gin, I love it in so many different ways, really. I think one of your typical gin is a gin and tonic. What they're going to showcase here tonight is more of the Spanish style gin and tonic, which it really goes along with what they serve in terms of their food here and their other offerings. I like to do it, before coming here with just lemon and rosemary, something really clean and simple. It's a different take on the gin and tonic.
I'd like to highlight, we make it all by hand. Mm-hmm. What separates us from a lot of distilleries, especially in our size and our space, is that it's basically like grain to glass. So we take every piece of raw material in, we ferment it by hand. It's all done with my knuckles and my blood and my sweat, and we make everything in super small batches, not like Jack Daniel's or a larger distillery. We do like one barrel a week, and it's about 200 bottles a week in production, so it's very intentional, very authentic, and each bottle is slightly different than the other one, so it makes it special.
I think people love it so much because it gives them the opportunity to kind of get together with friends and just, even if it's just at a barbecue or at the beach or just at a bar, hanging out with friends, it's really friends, family, celebrating. There's a lot of great things that go into just, having a cocktail and then finding one that's really special and different and new is also really special. It makes going to different bars and restaurants really exciting too. So you can find us in quite a few locations. We're actually primarily in liquor stores right now. We're both in the South Shore and the North Shore as well. We have the entire listing of stores that we're in right on our website, barrelg.in, if you'd like to take a look at that.
I'm Nina Levine from Taste to Tango. Our account mostly highlights places in Boston and very dessert focused, but we really like to try all different places and just highlight pretty much what the restaurant wants us to. So we're just we really, really love food. I know a lot of people love food, but we are very passionate about food. So events like this where promoting businesses particularly are a big deal for us. We really like to do those sorts of things. So we tried some of the gin-based alcoholic beverages, and I've only tried the gin and tonic, and it's very good. Definitely better than your average gin and tonic. And my favorite part about these events is just getting to know other people and talking to people that also really love food. But promoting businesses that we do what we can, our small part.